Please welcome to the stage Trae Crowder.
I'm called the liberal redneck. I made these videos, went viral. They went by that name. People are very confused by that, liberal redneck. I think it's an oxymoron. Like, what does that mean? But I mean, I get it. I totally get it. I understand why. It's because anytime anybody sees or hears somebody like with my accent in the media and pop culture, it's always the same thing, right? It's some Bible-thumping troglodyte at a Tea Party rally, just holding up a poster board with some ridiculous crap on it. You know, big government gives Jesus diarrhea, skate the date, you know. It's bad. It's all bad. And I totally understand that. And so I decided, I was like, man, I got to do something about this, man. And I didn't know what else to do, so I was like, I'm going to fight fire with fire, you know. I'm going to go out in public. I'm going to be just as loud, just as crazy, just as redneck as they act, but I'm going to put my message out there. You know, I'm going to say a bunch of really liberal stuff, try to tip the scales a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I go to town hall meetings and stand up like, hey, look here, I'm Trae Crowder. I pay taxes in this country. I'm proud to be American. Listen up. I love gays. I love blacks. I love all people. That's right. Bible says it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Of course, the Bible's an ancient collection of fairy tales and antiquated moral fables that ought not have no bearing on the machinations of an ostensibly modern society, by God. I grew up in abject poverty in a place called Salina, Tennessee, 3 hours from nowhere, 30 minutes from the nearest traffic light, in fact. That's true. There's no traffic lights in the whole county where I grew up. There's no Walmarts, no McDonald's. It's a good thing you're already sitting down for this one. There's no Starbucks either. Yeah, I know, the horror. How do those people do it? But yeah, we don't have any of those things. But we got plenty of liquor stores and churches, though. You know, life gets pretty hard in rural America. And the Bible in the bottle is what gets a lot of people through all that. But sometimes when that's not enough, some people turn to smaller, more sinister bottles, right? Bottles with names like Oxycontin, Percocet on them. When I was a kid, my mom wasn't really around because she was either strung out herself or she was in jail for selling those same pills. So my dad raised me. My dad was an old rock and roll redneck, you know, who had a lot of his own demons and had absolutely no money, but he was a good man, though. He passed away in 2013. His only sibling, my Uncle Tim, is gay. And when I found that out, I was like 8 or 9 years old, which is when I found out what being gay even means, by the way. You know, I was like, gay, oh, is that what it means when you make awesome quiches and love puns? Because yeah, that's Uncle Tim, all right. But once I found that out, the sermons that I was hearing at church took on a totally different tone to me. You know what I mean? It's like, what, who are you calling an abomination? You know, you don't even know my uncle. That kind of thing. And so I'd ask him, I was like, wait a minute, so you're telling me that my uncle, the sweetest human being I've ever known, is going to burn in hell forever just because of what he is? And the way these people are, man, they look right into a child's eyes and be like, that's right, sweetie, that's what the Bible says. Like, that's not an insanely messed up thing to say to a child, you know? And even at that age, I was just like, well, to hell with that. I see my uncle every Sunday for dinner and football. I ain't never even emailed Jesus. Why would I take his side? So I didn't. So I left, you know, and never to return. And I've never really regretted it either. And that's what I've always chalked a lot of this up to, you know, and I realized something shortly after that, which is that no matter what I wanted to have in life, like whether I wanted to get rich or get famous or get made or whatever, first and foremost, I had to get the hell out of there, right? That was job number one. Because statistically speaking, almost all kids who come from the type of background that I come from wind up strung out, dead, or in jail by the time they're 30. But not me, all right? And I'm not going back. The theme of this stage is evolution and how many overnight successes are years in the making, right? And if you'll allow it, that's something I consider myself qualified to talk about. But you know, it seems as though I just popped up literally overnight, and I totally understand that. I can understand why it would be that way, but really this is something that I've been working towards every single day of my life. So it is possible, you know what I mean, if some, you know, backwoods hillbilly from the middle of nowhere in Tennessee can evolve in that manner, then hell, anybody can. But thank you guys for listening to me. I really appreciate it.